Hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable with it here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm tucking the truck here.
All I ever do is work. I don't get no rest.
Man, I got some video footage.
Night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside.
Down in trouble water.
You just wouldn't believe how much rock in the truck is. Oh shit!
Oh, man, drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I swear the page goes live again.
coming in. Currently. I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries, but semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, and the trees beside me are completely sideways. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but definitely this is the tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts. I got the back turned right now and trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
All right. Everybody dancing. We played that yesterday. This is the Thursday song because it mentions Thursday. So it's a BOGO IPA song. So, Bonnie, yeah, it's a good song, man. It tunes. I like it. A little jamming on a Thursday, right? Hope you're doing good. Good morning. It's 9:21 here from sunny Oldsmar, Florida. Oh, I didn't hit the countdown button. Darn it. I always mess something up. It's tough being a producer and a director and a pet caretaker. So good morning. We got little weather to talk about, nothing imminent. We'll look into the future and we'll do some guessing on the tropics. Louie will take a nap. But yeah, man, so we're getting close to Halloween. I love Halloween. I love sitting out there and hanging out with my 12-foot skeleton. It's kind of like what I do here in the mornings. I talk and he doesn't talk back. Oh man, but we do have a good time. Emily bought me this big 12-foot spider that blows up, and it's massive, but it's cool. We had a spot for it. It's kind of scary. The 8 arms kind of wiggle in the wind. So our neighbors probably judge me, but that's okay. So this is a Louie. What's up, everybody? Amelia Island, Debbie. How's it going? Shelly's over there talking about a haircut. What's up with that? I don't like haircuts. I like getting clipper cuts. I don't have to brush my hair. Shelly Breedlove, what's up? Oh my goodness, anniversary of Wilma. We don't want to talk about that. This is the time of year we look at South Florida and We're going to look at Florida. What's up, Andrew? How's it going? Louis is snoring, Christy. Yep. He's doing all he can to stay awake. KRJ from Daytona Beach. Good morning. What's up? Habanero's Dream. How's Belize doing? Hey, Miss Teresa. How you doing? Southwest PA. Sue Thomas. How about that? My aunt used to live in Somerset, Pennsylvania. What's up, Christopher David from Inglewood? Morning, Steve. Ontario, Canada. Who's that? AJ. Another Keys, Christy Keys. Oh my God. Oh, you said long 6 weeks no power, Wilma Robbins said. Morning there, Tanya from Melbourne Beach. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. Hope you're doing good. A lot of cleanup still going on, but it's a bummer. I mentioned it yesterday. I don't have the links up, but my city, Oldsmar, is having a Halloween festival Friday night with a lot of fun stuff. So it's in the park, R.E. Olds Park, if you want something to do Friday, tomorrow. Check it out. A lot of places aren't doing things because of cleanup. A lot of parks are being used for debris removal. So it's tough. Tough to all these cities to continue on with their traditions, but Oldsmar is, so if you're looking for something to do tomorrow with the kids, hopefully we'll be able to make it and hand out candy. Maybe I'll dress up like the GFS. Yeah, Jessica over there on YouTube. What's up, Breeze from Naples? Yeah, Sop Choppy. Gina, I know where that's at. I was supposed to do a TV thing there. That's really close to where we were up there for Helene. Went a little bit to your east of you. What's up, Joel Harrison? Good morning. So anyway, hope we're doing good. We could all be in Louis' world. Nothing would matter, right? I don't think he likes Starbucks. I'm gonna finish my Starbucks. So this is the Nitro Cold Brew that I got at 4:12 yesterday. See that? And it's still sitting on my desk, and I'm attempting to finish it this morning. And it is the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do is drink this lukewarm. It's not good at all. And then I'm going to switch to my hot coffee. So, all right. Well, it's great to see everybody. We're going to talk some weather here. I know a lot of y'all aren't having good times right now dealing with hurricanes and stuff, and I feel so bad about that. I know so many of our friends have a lot of cleanup to do. Sucks. Good morning, Jan from Fernandina Beach. Well, that's tough to say. Jackie, he does live the best life. Shout out to Brittany at Chile. She got him a banana pillow that has these sides on it, and he loves to curl into that thing. Anyway, so this is our daily brew. We had a couple of these meet and greets. We were gonna party hard at Winter Garden and Cocoa Beach from my good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. So we were trying to reschedule that. So please stay tuned. I know the tropics was far more serious than this, but it messed up our meet and greets also. So we're going to try to reschedule this. So stay tuned, man. We were really excited about meeting everybody. Cocoa Beach had over 1,500 people that were supposed to be there. It was going to be huge. So I hope to do that. But don't forget to pick up your Spaghetti Model IPA if you can find it. It's out there somewhere. They sold out. So the perfect holiday, 8%. It's a Cat 5 IPA. Most of your ABCs hopefully have it. Give them a call. They'll find it for you. Here's what the satellite looked like this morning. Let's take a look at that. Here's the sun coming up. Let me refresh it. You can see this low pressure area that brought a lot of nasty weather to Bermuda yesterday. They had a lot of flooding in Bermuda, and they had a lot of storms yesterday. This was old Oscar. Oscar's looks like a nor'easter now. It's getting into nor'easter season. But everybody else, look at that. Nothing cooking. Not a cloud in the sky. It was a beautiful morning. There was hardly any clouds in the whole eastern, southern U.S. This morning. High pressure is locked in over top, and it's going to be that way for a long time. Weather seems like it transitions to fall, and we just get a break sometimes of nothing. So, no, Francine, I know. There a lot of them don't. It stinks. They double. We sold a lot of it. I don't know. We're gonna hopefully triple it next year. So, I don't think you know me. I knew you before when you started this when you were driving. I was working on the cars. Who's that? SV Second Chance. Look familiar. I think we met before. Naples Power's going in and out, huh? Right, that's not good. This is a water vapor map. This is lower level moisture in the atmosphere, and this is kind of showing you why sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue, and Florida, and Georgia too, and the Carolinas, and Louisiana, and Texas, and all these states. We could do geography with Mike. Don't get me on these flyover states, because I still don't know them. That was a Jason Aldean song, the flyover states, meaning nobody knows them, and I don't know them. I just know they all are big boxes. Oh, going cruising, Joni, that's fun. I wish we were, but not for a while. Cruising's fun. I have a feeling Julia and I will be doing that a lot the older we get. Oh my goodness. All right. So hey, last night I was having a little fun on the internet. Turned a little sideways, so I deleted it. But I just love to be random words sometimes, and I've done it, and I did it. I needed a little humor, but then it turned bad, so I had to delete it. But it was, whatever. The people that know me know me. Renee loves Alabama. I love that part of Forrest Gump. Greenbow, Alabama. What a great movie, right? Joe, you saw Sahara dust? Yeah, it comes in waves. Does not really a big impact this far over. The dust seems like it's a bigger part in the main development region. Once it gets to the islands, it usually fizzles out. But why it's so important, because waves that reach the Caribbean are usually in trouble. But the Saharan dust dries up those waves, and if there's no waves in the Caribbean, then we don't have storms. So that's why it's so important to keep the waves in the dust. Because when we have dust, the waves don't make it. Then we don't get storms. So, Stacy from St. Pete Marina. How about that? Morning, Ryan Anderson. All right, cool. Well, let's talk a little weather. We'll hang out a little bit. I got to go see Mom. Mom's not having a good day. Forrest Gump 2 is coming out. Are you kidding me? There's no way. Are you kidding me, Jenny? Jenny. Of all people that talks about Forrest Gump coming out, it's a girl named Jenny. Jenny. Oh, like it's so funny. All right, cool. Let's talk about the weather. So, all right, so there's that. I got a few things up. So we talked about Bermuda yesterday. Look at this. All this junk yesterday was hitting our friends in Bermuda. It was a big low pressure. This was Oscar. This is what it looks like. So there you go. On its way out to Never Never Land. For the week coming up, this is rainfall through the weekend through next Monday. We got nothing. We got a little bit of rain maybe on the Florida East Coast, maybe in coastal areas, maybe. Probably not. So pretty dry for most everybody here across the south and the east and northeast through the weekend. And so that's pretty cool, right? And a lot of Fall Fest, hopefully. Hopefully Fall Fest, right? We want to go to Busch Gardens, but I don't want to go on Saturday night. I don't. This place is crazy with all the kids, even though I kind of act like one too. I will, Laura. I'll say hello to Mom. Jenny. All right, so there's Rainfall for the week. There's a little bit more long ranges. It's always an interesting map to look at. This is for 10/26 to 10/30. It's basically the weekend and the next week. Our frost line is now extended south to Virginia, and we got a lot of wind. That's about it. No moisture. Alaska's going to get heavy rain, southern parts, but a lot of wind. There could be fires. Got to be careful. We get a lot of winds and dry air, low humidity, and a lot of wind. Sometimes we get some fire, so we'll be watching for that. But that's it. No big moisture. Notice down in Florida, we still got the Withlacoochee and the St. Johns River still flooding, unfortunately. That's still going on. They're slowly going down, but that's what those little spots here in Florida mean. We still have this. This is on Tropical Tidbits. This is crazy. This used to be Nadine. Got a new name now. Christy. So Nadine crossed Central America and now is a major hurricane. Shouldn't bother anybody out there. It should reach some colder waters to the north and turn subtropical. So Christy once was Nadine, and this is what it looks like. Incredible, right? Look at that. 150 mile an hour monster of a hurricane. So Nadine decided to go west. She went west. Turned into a major hurricane. All right, so we got this in our area. GFS. Yeah, we're talking about the GFS. GFS wants to dress up for the Halloween like a hurricane. Hey, GFS, what are you going to be for Halloween? Oh, I'm going to be a hurricane. Last weekend of daylight savings time. There you go, Ryan. Here we go. So, 8:30, what time is it? It's 9:30. Look. So I have a clock up here and a clock on the wall. We have never changed that clock on the TV. So we will be back to normal. I don't change the clocks. I just worry about it 6 months at a time. So now when I take my nap, I wake up like around 2 and I'm like, is it really 2 or is it 3? And it takes me like 5 minutes to comprehend what time it is because I don't wear a watch anymore. So I'm like, I'll be laying there and I'm like, is it really 2:30 or 3:30 or 1:30 or what is it? And I'm like, whatever. So anyway, so I guess that means it'll be 8:30 now next week, which means it gets darker. It gets darker. It gets lighter earlier and darker later. I get so confused. All right, so let's talk about the tropics. I'm going to talk all weather now, and then we'll get back to shenanigans in a little bit. So official information, we got nothing showing. Always look for official information, right? But we do have signs of something brewing in the Caribbean. All right. Eventually, we'll get a little spot. We'll get a little yellow down here, more than likely, soon. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but nothing right now. The Global Tropics Hazards Map came out a couple days ago, just highlighting the area we're likely going to see something pop up. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So we'll see. Nothing to worry about. Definitely, I'd be paying close attention down in the Caribbean. Caymans, Jamaica, obviously the Bahamas and Hispaniola and Cuba. I don't know if anybody watches this in Cuba, but and Florida. Then apparently we'll still have conditions favorable for maybe something in November. So that's what's going on. Now I did pull a map up earlier. I don't know what the heck happened. This was on a NOAA map. This is off of NOAA's website. But the first one I did only had 4 storms. And I totally didn't notice that it didn't have Ada on there, so I had to delete it and make another one. And now this is correct. So these are all the storms that ever have occurred in November for Florida. You can see there's 8 of them, last 100 years. We had Nicole, 2022. That was a hurricane. We had Ada, which hit the Keys, and then it skirted by and brought a lot of havoc. Remember we did that loop-de-doop? Remember Ada went through the Keys, went south, went back north again? That was the one that brought all that flooding to Pinellas, west central Florida. So and Ada ended up going up there in the Big Bend area. But it was a tropical storm then. We had Mitch in 98. That was a strong hurricane. But it looks like, what did it do when it finally... I think it weakened by the time it made landfall. Gordon, 94. There was an unnamed one in 35. We had Kate in 85. That hit the Panhandle. That was in November 15th. That was a Category 3 that weakened down to a Category 2. So, it can happen. Will it happen this year or not? We don't know. But it will happen again one day. Here's a little tidbit map. This is too much clutter for me. This is I don't even know why I put this up there. I was looking at it. Everything. It basically just to show you the flow of everything down here. Always ends up going north to northeast. Typically, that's all the storms in the last. I showed this yesterday, but I just wanted to see it again. November 1st to the 10th, all the storms from 1851 to 2023. Just kind of shows you. A lot of them miss Florida. That's the point of this. I don't want to create everybody worried so much, but a lot of them do miss Florida. So it's not a 100% worry at all for anything right now. And then here's November 11th to 20th. You can see a couple of them hit Florida, a couple of them don't. So that's the pattern. If you're in Texas, you're probably not worried about it at all. We get cold fronts that come down and pick things up and turn them out to sea. So that's kind of what we're doing with this little guy. Now, I put this together this morning. This is tropicaltidbits.com. These are the Canadian model. This is the GFS. This is the Euro and the Euro AI. And these are all for November 1st, which isn't that far away. And they're all showing low pressure somewhere. So the main point of this is that, Canadian, Euro AI, and then, of course, the GFS. So they're all showing low pressure. Doesn't always mean it'll develop. It just means, possibilities something could start brewing down there. It's just kind of how they start with this Central American gyre feel to it. We get energy that, comes up. There's going to be a lot of moisture no matter what. That's going to potentially be a problem if this thing does pull to the north with rains. We can't handle any more rain here in this, where I live, that's for sure, Florida. So we'll see. I'm going to show you all the models. We got a high pressure going to be to the north, very typical. See, high pressure, high pressure, high pressure, high pressure. So the initial motion might do a little northeast. It could then turn around this high pressure with a little wiggle back west. Always comes down to that. The water is super duper hot down here. Very hot, hottest of the season. It isn't hot in the Gulf, but any system that develops here, is now developed, and it won't weaken much. We don't get wrapped up in category strengths. Category strengths don't mean anything. Nicole and Ian were tropical storms on the Florida East Coast that brought a lot of havoc. So that's what we got. We'll see. Sandy. I remember Sandy. Not Grease Sandy. 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 So, all right, there's that. Another thing I got put together from this morning was ensembles. All right, so these are always important to look at. This is for 7 days from now. This is, I thought it was 7 days. Maybe I didn't do 7 days. Huh. I put the wrong one up. Anyway. Made 2 blunders today. Well, this one's up until 8 days. Well, it is 8 days, I guess. Not 7 days. But anyway. These are ensembles. The Euro is showing a little bit more than it did yesterday. And the GFS obviously has quite a few. So, important thing here is that by the first part of November, we should start to see some sort of a low pressure area getting going. And the Euro has a lot more than it did yesterday. Remember, there are 51 members of the Euro, so there's, you know, quite a few of the Euro ensembles now. Saying some sort of low pressure is going to try to get going down here. The GFS a little faster, but has a lot more of its members showing too. So there's good confidence that something's going to try to get going here to watch. So, John, not coming to Florida. Let's hope not. But GFS is very consistent on the idea here that this thing is coming. So, all right. I don't know why I put Halloween on there, but anyway. All right, so let's look at the actual GFS ensembles here on Weather Nerds and go from there. And then we'll look at the actual operational runs. This is kind of gives you an idea where the low is going to start and where some of them are going to go and how strong some of them are going to be. So there's our clump of lows here on the 29th. This is only 5 days from now. That's why I think we'll get a yellow circle soon. We might get one at 2 o'clock. So a bunch of the GFS ensembles are already showing something down here, and then we got Halloween, but then we start to see them kind of pull north, and some go west, some go back east. So these are confusing, yes, but most of these are developed into decent little hurricane. So the question is going to be this little bend back, you know. That's going to be what we're going to be watching. Obviously, the Caymans and Jamaica and Hispaniola and the Bahamas and Cuba, they're all watching. But this thing wiggles back, you know, does it go there? Does it? I mean, we don't know. So anything, you know, that far out is a guess. But we like to look at these ensembles because it builds the case that there's quite a bit of agreement on the GFS here that we're going to see something popping here just after Halloween. And then the latest Euro is, like I said, mentioned before, it's getting a lot more support than it did yesterday. Not a lot, but a lot. A little more than yesterday. And here's what it's showing. Basically, same time frame, low pressure, getting going down here around Halloween. And then, you know, starts to pull something up. And it only goes out 10 days. That's a long way away. So, there you go. Don't like to go past 10 days, but we got a high pressure starting to build up here. And that could be the difference of where this thing goes. High pressure up here. Remember, high pressures, usually the steering currents allow some sort of a bend back. And then that's why the GFS is going there. And it did that yesterday. So, definitely got to watch it. Got to watch it. Here's the individual runs. This is what everybody's talking about. Let's look at the latest 6Z. Tropical tidbits. So, there's our low getting going around the 27th. Again, it's some sort of a big gyre system. A lot of low pressure down here. A lot of moisture. Precipitable water, I'll show you, is going to be incredible. A couple of these GFS runs yesterday were showing 20, 30 inches of rain. Crazy. But here's what the latest GFS shows. There's that, you know, Jamaica. Then that little turn back. And then that. I'll just make it really fast. How about that? That's right over our house. But that would be November 3rd. 9 days. I think 9 days. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. That's 7 days. 1, 2, about 9 days. Anyway, that's the latest GFS. Yes, it could happen. It's happened before. All right, there's that. Let's look at the overnight GFS. There's something developing by Jamaica. And by November 3rd, it's a little slower, 9:39. That's pretty strong. Sees that front coming, rides around that ridge, and turns a little more to panhandle. All right, last night's 18Z was more east. Got to put that out there. And it kind of stalls it, which is kind of weird. And then it pulls it kind of the north. So basically all we're seeing is something's trying to get going down here. Yesterday's 12Z, a little weaker. Jamaica's still hurricane though, and then it. So man, the GFS, then it has another one over here, which is odd, but still. There's 4 consistent runs at GFS, you know, pretty much showing something developing pretty strong. 5 consistent runs. Yesterday's 6Z did the same thing. That was more of a huge low pressure system, but still 975 pressure. That's kind of like a Nicole right there. So there's that. All right, European AI is starting to get the idea. Some sort of low pressure down here. Doesn't really do anything with it yet, but it's getting it more and more. Here's the last 00Z showing a little bit more of a island impact and not lower 48 Florida. So there's one run of the AI. Yesterday's 18Z kind of just hung down there for a little bit before decided what to do. So it's starting to develop something. So there's your confidence. Main European run last night, the 00Z, started to show big broad low here November 2nd. Then what to do after that, we'll have to see. There's your high, there's your front, you know. All this comes into play with a hook coming, you know, the front, the high, the steering, the zigzag, whatever. That's just too far away right now to know. But it definitely is what we're seeing consistently as far as the high pressure to the north around the first, second, third. All right, there's the last Euro, the last Canadian. General low pressure down here, and doesn't really do anything with it yet. But there it is. So we patiently wait. Patiently wait, meaning before we have any idea what the heck's going to happen. But I do want to look at the KMA. The KMA, as you know, is a model, but I tend to like it because it seems like it's pretty accurate 2 out of 3 times. And it goes out far. The UK does not go out that far yet. But the last run of 00Z does show something trying to get going November the 2nd and 3rd. Just another model basically showing you the conditions. So what we see with stuff like this is we know history. We know the biggest player in all this is this MJO phase coming, which is huge. It'll be the last hurrah, hopefully, if this thing is going to do anything. Hopefully the last one of the year. But it definitely enables thunderstorm activity. So right now we're in a sinking air pattern. This is heading towards early November, and usually when you have this phenomenon of rising air, you get more thunderstorms. So it's stormy and wet. I was laughing because I thought I was going to say moist, stormy and moist, but stormy and wet. And that's what happens. It's easier for storms to develop when we have the passing phase of the MJO. So that's there. And like I said, the water temperature is still very, very, very hot. Still way above normal. Here's your above normal map on Tropical Tidbits here. So the water temperatures are still above normal. Yes, they're below normal along the coastline in the Gulf, which is great. But as we know, even a Cat 1 can be trouble. So not using the language like the water temperatures are cold, because Cat 1s can be just as bad. Yes, MJO is better when it's yellow, basically. So there you go. Yeah, that's it. We're just, don't be worried. There's a lot of, hopefully, it's, scary to look at these GFS runs and people share them. I used to share them. They're good for clicks and likes, but you got to be careful because they're going to change. We'll see if the GFS is onto something or not. We'll see. That's only 10 days out, but that area is definitely very favorable to develop. I mean, we get light wind shear. That you get the high pressure to the north that helps it. You get the ventilation. You get the water temperatures. I mean, it's possible. Possible. A lot of flooding, Joel. Yeah, buddy. Good morning, Ricardo from Jamaica, man. Yeah. Thanksgiving. We're talking about Thanksgiving. No, we're not doing jerky stuffing. Oh my God, and Dorito crumbles. I had a bag of Doritos last night. I was so excited. Alyssa thought it was your phone. I know. I had to turn my phone off. White's, yeah, here we go again, Teresa. But yeah, I mean, it's just still a little too far away to get too specific on anything. I just know that the pattern and environment is favorable for something to try to get going. There's going to be light wind shear November 2nd. This is off Tropical Tidbits. So it'll be an area of, fairly light wind shear. Yeah, So, yeah. Just going to accelerate the skeleton back into the attic a little quicker. All right. Cape Fear, where's that? Oh, what's up, Braxton? I know where that's at. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it is possible to get a category, David. Yeah, one map that is a map that kind of puts all the parameters in play right now currently. With water temperatures, basically that, maybe. But it looks at current conditions and what the maximum could be. Obviously, the Caribbean, we're Cat 5 and greater, if there was a greater. Blue is Cat 5. Purple here is Cat 4. Pink is Cat 3. So, definitely could if everything else lined up correctly. So the water temperatures are still definitely warm enough, and it's not so much the water the ocean heat content map still showing you how the water's temperature is still, still very warm below the surface. Even sea temperatures here are still in the middle 80s in the middle part of the Caribbean, and still decent 80s. Doesn't matter that it's in the 70s by the coast, because it'll be, if it came that way, it'll already be doing its damage on its approach. So yeah, so it's definitely strong enough that it could be so, yeah. Well, Brandon, my yard looks good, thank you. Oh, thanks, William. Yeah, man, I enjoy doing that. I really do. I love it. Sarah loves it. Every morning we go out there and sit and wait for the bus, and she looks at all the stuff. Okay, anything else going on? Jen, you just joined. Well, GFS is not an AI model. No, well, I guess they're all AI models in a sense. They all are computers. So, but no, the GFS is. I don't know what's the difference between an AI and computer. I don't know. The Euro AI uses different. Different methods than the main operational Euro. So there you go. Got feeling what's what do I think? Well, I think we're going to see a storm, no doubt. I think it's going to be a close call for South Florida. Oh. Nobody should be worried, Sarah, about anything right now. Just I'd be worried about seeing scary GFS runs. So yeah, I'm looking at history more than anything. I just think the pattern is there, and we just gotta watch. Just be ready. I mean, it's still got a lot of heat potential left in the ocean. You know, overall vertical wind shear is below normal on average. So a lot of the conditions ahead, are going to be somewhat favorable. Rainfall, could be a big story if it does come this way. So all the different runs of the whatever models head this way. This doesn't go out too far though, but the GFS does. So even a sloppy system could have a big impact with rain, and we know flooding is huge. So here's obviously one map, showing 7, 8, 9 inches. Last night, 00Z. It's loading slow. Here we go. It went more to the north. Yesterday's 18Z that was the one that kind of just hung out. It didn't really do anything. We had one that was 20 inches plus. Here's one run here showing, South Florida with, 14 inches somewhere. So every storm is a little different as far as impacts go. So thank you, Miss April Yarborough. There's that one run that was crazy rain. This was yesterday's 6Z, 20 inches of rain. So the bottom line is going to be a lot of precipitable water down there. In fact, we can look at that too with the Euro. Even though the Euro is not showing much development, we can still see overall precipitable water will be quite high in that time frame. And see all that juice getting pulled up around Central America? That's rain. And whether anything develops or not, that's a big question, but there'll be a lot of rain regardless. That's a lot of rain pulling up through the Pacific lower levels. Maybe you're wrapping around trying to get something going here. So precipitable water really showing up here on the Euro. The GFS precipitable water in the latest run shows you all that moisture. But the main thing to look at is like October 30th. All that, man. Anytime you get purple, that's a ton of moisture. And moisture is a big part of hurricanes. You get moisture in the atmosphere, and that's what feeds them. Dry air is not showing up, but that's a lot of moisture October 29th and 30th right here. And that's all because of this big Central American gyre. Lots of juice there. Look at that. A lot of juice. So a lot of moisture in the next few days down here. So there you go. Checking in South Carolina. Christine, cool. Bring some rain to southeast North Carolina. That's kind of tough to say. Southeast North Carolina. That's southeast North Carolina. Southeast North Carolina. Northeast North Carolina. I think the weird would be northeast South Carolina. Northeast South Carolina. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you, Joanna. Me and my buddy Dennis, we talked last night. Shelly, you're welcome. Lauren, you can look at all these models. Well, these are on a paid site, weather models, but most of these you can find on Tropical Tidbits or Weather Nerds. So you can play around up here and see that. Tropical Tidbits and Weather Nerds has good models. Most of the ones I post are Tropical Tidbits and Weather models. So, and you go up here to forecast models and you can see all kinds of stuff. Just takes a while to get used to it. This is a good one, like P-Watt moisture. Just kind of shows you same thing, just a different look to it. But brown is dry air, green is moist, moist air. You just got to learn your timestamps too. But there's your euro showing that moisture. Wrapping up. Every day we get closer. Northeast, southwest North Carolina. Southwest South Florida. So, all right. Halloween forecast for Central Florida. Well, so far it looks pretty good. Other than kind of warm, it'll be in the low 70s. Could start to see maybe some of this moisture pulling up. I've been seeing a little bit of this moisture here coming in ahead of whatever's developing down here. So could be a little rain rolling in from the Atlantic side, possibly out ahead of this thing. Kind of see that. So it could be some sneaky rains inching in on Halloween. That's Halloween by right there. So, but you know, nothing yet that's organized other than just maybe a little more rain chances popping in the picture. And it'll be there's no fronts coming down, so it's not going to be like winter jacket weather. Tim, exactly. A lot of rain and with Withlacoochee. Unique journeys. I do think the GFS has been really good this year. It's scary. Bob, really, it's the only one aggressive because it's going out past 10 days. A lot of these other models only go out 10 days. So the Euro AI goes out past 10 days, and you can start to see it trying to maybe develop something. So we can look at Euro 10-day. Well, I want to show this to you. This is a little more increased chances here on the Euro blend of ensembles for November 2nd, November 3rd, and then Tropical Storm. It's actually up to a little darker purple now, 25%. So it's getting a little bit more percentages on the Euro. But we can go here and look at a little more closer. Is this Euro? Yeah, it's Euro. And just kind of put your time. Well, these are really hard to see. We'll pull out this one here. But you can see once we get 10 days, the Euro ensembles don't really do much. But once we go to 10 to 15 days, you start to see that pull to the north and the pull to the northeast. So, and this makes a lot of sense. I mean, we pretty much got a fanning out here of the ideas historically That's a euro, but you can see quite a few more are showing past 10 days now. We have to get another day. GFS global cyclones showing a little more zigzag. So you just gotta be cautious on the GFS individual runs, because you look at the whole. These are your 6Z ensembles, and you can see most of them are kind of doing what the Euro is doing. Maybe a little more South Florida, but also another chance of obviously going to miss Florida. And then you look at last night 00Z, and a couple over that way, but you kind of get the feeling, what this thing's going to do. I mean, it's going to do something. It's just a matter of when it's going to do it. So, yeah. Curiosity is still 8 out of 10 for me. Curiosity. I'm not going to keep Bones up very long. Very long after Halloween, I can tell you that. So, Nicole, if it came to lower 48 Florida, it would be November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, maybe at the earliest. I don't know. Still past Halloween. All right, so we'll see what the 12Z models do. We'll be live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. If we get a yellow circle, then maybe we'll see, do a little more maybe. But right now, we're just gonna hang out. See what the afternoon runs say. I'm not so much a model watcher anymore. I'm a model analyst and history analyst. So we know the MJO is coming at the wrong time, meaning it's going to help something get going. We have that. So everything's lining up that we can see something. How about that? And it affects a lot of people, not just, a lot of folks travel. And so, all right. Well, hey, listen, as always, thanks for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow, 9:19 Eastern. Set your Alexa. And I hope you have a great Thursday. All right. I think we're going to Lightning game tonight. So if you're at the Lightning, we'll see you there.